Good afternoon and welcome to today's Prep League soccer broadcast between the visiting Saints of St. Christopher School and the host Trinity Episcopal Titans. We've got a beautiful autumn day on the banks of the James River as we see a rematch of last year's state championship game. And I'm Rick Hamlin, joined here by
Layla Talabi.
Layla. What are you looking for in this one?
Honestly, I'm looking for a good fight by both teams, and should be a good match, I think.
Yeah, it's always a battle when these two teams get together. Last year on this field, I was able to broadcast the game. It ended in a 2-2 draw. Very exciting finish with Titans scoring in stoppage time. And the only team that Trinity lost to last year was St. Christopher's. Had a few ties, but the only losses of the season were to the Saints. Titans not off to quite as good a start this year so far, with obviously losing 9 seniors from last year's team. Titans come in at, I believe, 4-4-1, I think is the record.
Sounds right.
That's a nice ball up over the top. Good pressure by Gino Valguez on Evan Broughton, the right back for the Saints. Big switch from left to right, and the Saints look to possess it early, and now they switch it back from right to left. And now they go long with it down the left-hand side, but that'll travel out of bounds. And it does look to me like the Titans are playing a little bit more defensively early, keeping numbers behind the ball. And these Titans have yet to really play a game thus far this season with the full complement of healthy players between injuries and a rash of illnesses. Brady Lang out today, normally plays left back, and he's one of the senior leaders on this team. And then, of course, Kenan Muminovic has been out really all season. Hopefully we'll see Kenan back on the pitch soon. All right, Saints were able to save that. Good job by Grayson DeCosmo to keep that ball in play.
Some great composure by the Saints back line, I think, so far.
Yeah, and it looks like the Titans are content to let St. Christopher's play it around the back. Big switch, and that's brought down nicely by DeCosmo. He's able to get a shot that blistered just wide. First look at goal by either team thus far. And we'll get that clock on our scoreboard bug working for you, but we're about 3.5 minutes in to the contest. And Layla's middle school classmate, Joe Turkley, is about to take the goal kick.
Yeah.
And he puts it beyond midfield. Nice header by the Saints, Jackson Carlian. Nice job there by Pierce Riddle to shield it out of play for a Titan throw. And Pierce is probably the one who is getting the starting nod with Brady Lang out. Matthias Rusi is just coming back from his own illness, and it's great for the Titans to have him back. And Matthias plays a long ball for Gino to run onto, and Broughton can only play it out to touch for a Titan throw. And another good battle between Broughton and Gino Galvez. Those two have already locked horns a few times here in the early going. Nice passing series of 1 and 2 touch passes by the Titans to get out of trouble, but that one went a little bit astray. So early on here, what are some of the patterns that you're noticing, Layla?
I think St. Chris is pretty well composed. They're possessing more, I think. Maybe creating a little bit more, but nothing real chances yet for either team, I think.
Gino was not able to handle that throw from Roman Gamino, a couple of juniors. And looking at the Titan starting group today, I think it's 5 seniors and 6 juniors starting. Nice run forward there by Jackson Carleon for the Saints. He received that ball on his own defensive side of midfield and was able to skip past a couple Titans before it was cleared out of play by Jack Cranston. And that's the first time, I believe, that Saint keeper Dougie Boardman is able to get his hands on it. Nice pass out to DeCosmo. He finds Carleon. And there's Joe handling things again in his purple kit. Yeah. It definitely feels to me like both teams are still very much feeling each other out. No one risking too much. I'm sure there's a little bit of nerves just in terms of nice job by Matthias there. You know, two teams that are fierce rivals, and nobody wants to make that first mistake. Jack Cranston played that out into the woods. And these are familiar foes. Played 3 times last year, twice in the regular season, and then a third meeting in the championship game at City Stadium, as goes through to Joe again. And then they've already scrimmaged back in August of this year and play again over at St. Christopher's in October 6th, so just about 2 weeks from now. So these guys have seen each other a lot. And I would think, because Trinity and St. Christopher's pretty much play twice every year, that probably the Saints are the team that Titans soccer has played the most in our history. Always twice, and then some postseason meetings, like we said. So very familiar opponent. And the games are always close, always battles, and never lacking for drama. And Layla, you know, playing girls soccer here, sort of the same thing with St. Catherine's. Those games are always physical and hard fought, and so that's going to take a long one that goes just wide, but Saints will play the goal kick short, And that's one of the captains at center back. Good job by Hayes there. Good job by Hayes to win that one. And Ryan finds the feet of Seth. Good ball out to Oliver Simpson. And this is the most promising attack the Titans have been able to put together, but ultimately not able to get a shot out of it. And this actually was what scares you a little, these counterattacks when good job by Roman Gamino to shield DeCosmo off the ball. But now I was just going to say, when you're playing numbers behind the ball, which you understand why Trinity would do that, but then when they get guys forward, if you don't create a good scoring chance, you do leave yourself a little short at the back. So that balance is sometimes difficult.
That's something the Saints will definitely be looking to exploit as the Titans try to push up the field and create possession.
Steven Bashera played that one out of play, so it'll be a Titan throw. And just trying to make out formation-wise. In possession, it looks like the Titans are in a 4-3-3, but out of possession, they're really dropping the midfielders deep. And looks like a 4-2-3-1, I think, with Hayes, Shepard, and Ben Gravely as the holding mids, and then Seth, Gino, Ryan attacking. Ryan's going to get there first. Hayes plays it out to Gino. But good job by the Saints, and here comes that counterattack. Nice tackle by Matthias. Oh, what a touch from Ben Gravely to Jack Cranston. And Titans are really growing into the game here. About 13 minutes in, they just, Layla, the first 5 to 7 minutes, we barely saw Trinity get a touch, but they're starting to connect some passes, and you can just see the confidence growing. Yeah, and we saw that John Paul the Great game when the Titans got behind in the first 30 seconds. Matthias Rusi, who anyone who watches these broadcasts will know I'm a huge fan of Matthias and what he's able to do at center back. But a rare mistake by Matthias led to that counter for the Saints as he brought it forward. Ball got a little bit away from him. It's a really strong tackle. I think it was by Jackson Carlian, and created an opportunity, but once again, DeCosmo couldn't quite put it on frame, just a little bit wide. Several subs coming on for both teams. And one thing I remember from the 3 St. Christopher's games that we had last year is they sub a lot. seems like every 5 minutes they send in some subs, which I think if you're used to it can be a really effective tactic because it keeps guys fresh and it also keeps a lot of players on the bench really engaged because they know they may go in at any point. I mean, the downside is it can really break up the rhythm of the game, but I guess if you're used to it, then it doesn't break up your rhythm because you're used to it. But as an opponent, I remember finding it really frustrating last year playing against them because it just felt like they were always subbing. And just when you felt like you got in a rhythm, every time there's a sub, it takes 30 seconds, sometimes even more, to get them in and out. But that's one thing to just keep an eye on.
Yeah, that was a great clearance by Matthias there.
Yeah, so the Titans brought in Tucker Tedderton and Nathan Sims, and St. Christopher's brought in Cade Cox and Sutton Olsen, yes. And those are both 10th graders. Both these teams pretty experienced. Titans, all juniors and seniors, and just one sophomore, Grayson Bulow. And the Saints have, looks like, well, they got 5 or 6 sophomores and a freshman. Hayes bringing it forward. Finds Tucker, who just got a little bit beyond his reach. I think Hayes put that a little too far in front of him. And another sub by the Saints, this time Max Mumford. They let Cox turn with it there. Good job by Roman. Good job by Matthias. Titans were playing a really high line there, and there was definitely some space for the Saints to run onto. Good job there by Joe Turkley beating Jack Bleeker, who put a lot of pressure on him as the center forward for the Saints. Both teams had a ton of seniors last year. We've already talked about Trinity had 9 seniors. Pretty much all were starters. Certainly all played big minutes. But the Saints also, just as I look at this lineup, and broadcast twice last year when these teams played, seems like most of the St. Christopher's players were not starters themselves last year. I definitely do remember the center back, Beckett Schofield, number 4. He was a starter last year. I think maybe 1 or 2 others, but mostly they have a new starting group versus the guys from last year who ultimately were state champions. Good pressure by Seth Molesky to create that turnover. He kind of rushed Sutton Olsen into making that pass, I think, a little sooner than he wanted to. Nice header by number 15, Kellen Welsh. It's the 6'4" center back, and he was able to use every inch of his height on that head ball to beat Tucker Tedderton to it. And Welsh comes off a little bit. I think he's fine, but I'm sure that hurt getting run into. It wasn't dirty by Tucker. He had eyes for the ball, but it was a foul. Good job by Pierce Riddle to read that overlap. Yeah, that was scary as Sutton Olsen glided past Jack Cranston there, and Joe Turkley called into action for about the third or fourth time in this first 20 minutes. Nice job by Oliver to find Seth. Tough angle. And good job by Kellen Welsh to prevent the corner and actually begin a counterattack for the Saints. Hayes got a foot in, but now a Saints player running free. Flag stays down. No offsides here. Titans getting numbers behind the ball. And there's an offsides as Titans back line did a good job stepping up. Layla, I'd describe these first 21 minutes or so as cagey. You know, if I said this, it's been cagey, would you know what I mean by that?
I think I know what you mean by that.
What do you think it means?
Like both teams haven't really been taking any chances. They've been very reserved in like their attacks and stuff.
That,
I feel like
yes.
I haven't seen any like true aggression from either team. I feel like it's been kind of a slow 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I
That-
feel like the tempo needs to increase. And stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Cagey, I guess you'd say like the opposite of wide open. If you describe a game as open, it's back and forth, up and down. This has been neither team risking too many numbers forward, just like you said. Both teams being cautious and not wanting to take too big of a risk. And because of that, we've had neither team with any clear-cut great chances. Saints with a few half chances. And they do have a corner here. And it's going to be on the favored left foot. That was headed to the corner. Jack Cranston saved the day on that one. And you could tell that, I believe it was number 11, Matt Sovich, really wanted it on his left foot. And he got a nice connection on that, and Jack did well to get in the way. That cross goes over everyone, and it'll be out for a Titan throw. And we saw it. It's hard to even keep them all straight, but the Saints just brought in 3 or 4 more subs. And for the Titans on for the first time is Caleb Watson playing up top. He, along with a number of these guys, played JV with me last year, and really excited to see Caleb. Well, hold on. Let me see what happens here. That shot goes over, but the Saints are starting to find some gaps between the midfield and the defense, and I think the Titans need to be made aware. And I see Coach Phillips is pointing some things out, talking to some guys, and making some adjustments. But no, I was just going to say shout out to Caleb Watson, Tucker Tedderton, Pierce Riddle, are all guys that Gino Galvez is another one who started, who are all JV players last year who've been out here contributing. So that makes me proud as their coach of last season. Great ball by Roman Hayes. The rare mistouch. I think we get so used to Hayes putting the ball where he wants all the time that when he doesn't have a perfect pass, it's almost a surprise. That was a perfect pass by Hayes that he knew nothing about. Came off the back of his head. It's still in, and Hayes is going to have a real opportunity here. It's goalward. It's spilled, but no one followed. But that was well struck by Hayes Shepherd, and Dougie Boardman made the save, but definitely left a rebound.
Definitely something the Giants should be trying to exploit there. Need somebody goal hungry who's right there, like charging for the ball.
Good shield by Pierce Riddle, and once again it goes through to Joe Turkley. Seth really showing off his speed there, and I mean that ball went all the way from Joe on a punt almost to about the opposite corner, 6 yard from the end line. So Joe was able to get big power on that, as well as a nice roll. That's a little foul on Oliver Simpson as he went through the back of the Saints wing. And I believe that was the freshman Carson Stalker who got fouled there, the lone ninth grader on either one of these teams. So congratulations for Carson making varsity as a freshman, and he just drew a foul. Matthias's clearance worked out. He didn't get much height on it, but it actually ends up right at the feet of Hayes Shepard. And Hayes plays it out wide to Seth. This is a promising attack. Great run by Tucker on his left foot. Didn't get a great connection, and the Saints will clear it out. That's a great spin by Tucker Tedderton. Once again, it's on his left. Tucker could win that, or Roman actually. Roman's in a great spot. Goes near post. And they're going to say Roman was offsides there. You thought he was on? Yeah, I definitely did not see that as offsides either, and that was pretty much right in front of us. Well, so, you know, didn't take a goal off the board, but don't think I agreed with that one. But regardless, we play on. It is a little unfortunate because I think it would have been a corner for the Titans as Boardman saved it out of bounds. And just like that, the Saints look to counter, and Seth Molesky's got an opportunity here. 2-on-1. Tucker needs to get on his horse. Nice shot by Seth, and Dougie Boardman with the save. But the Titans showing a little bit more in attack than what we've seen up to this point. Well, Layla, at about the 20-minute mark, you mentioned the game felt like it was lacking in an intensity. And I don't think it's that the guys aren't playing hard in their zones. It's just, but it's very much had been a chess match, which as a player and certainly as a coach, you understand why it would be like that. But as a spectator, sometimes you want a little more. Or if you were like a neutral and didn't care which team won, you might say this game's crying out for a goal, so that if one team goes behind, they'll take a little more risk, and that'll open things up. But we haven't had that goal, but I do feel like it's opened up a little. And probably Coach Phillips maybe even said to his guys, hey, the first 20, 25, we just want to keep everything tight, not send numbers forward, and let's get through the first third of the game, and then look to maybe be a little more on the front foot. The last time we saw the Titans on this field, now granted it was with some key absences, most especially Matthias Rusi, the center back, but Collegiate was putting 7 past these Titans a week ago, so I think it's important to make sure they're super solid defensively, and they really have been so far. And got to give St. Christopher's credit. They defeated Collegiate on Tuesday 2-1. Talked to some folks who were at that game. It definitely sounded like the Cougars had a lot more shots and chances, and even hit the post right at the end of the game that would have tied it. But at the end of the day, the scoreboard is what matters, and the Saints were able to grind out a really impressive result against the number 1 ranked team in the state, Collegiate. And Saints come in at 3rd in the state. That's a long ball that Joe stays back on, and Joe trusted his defenders to be there. I thought Joe was going to come for it, but I think he made the right decision. That's why he's the keeper, and I never played there. Also, my height may have contributed to me never playing there. Yeah, yeah. Combined, the two of us are barely 10 feet tall. Layla and I. Thankfully, our producer and camera guy, Ben Schneider's got some height, so we got someone up here who's not a certifiable little person. All right, Gino, maybe will be a corner. No, just going to be a throw, but I feel like the crowd is getting more into it as well as the Titans just are demonstrating a little bit more of a threat. That's right. Yeah. So when the ball gets deep into the opponent's territory, they'll bring Jack up from center back, and he throws it very long, and it is a threat. Well handled there by the Saints. And a really nice tackle here, and it's going to be about a 3v3, but DeCosmo is not on the same page as Bleacher there. I think Bleacher wanted it over the top, and DeCosmo went diagonal with it.
Yeah, I think that the Titans are more threatening on the throws in the corners right now. They haven't really been able to create much from the corners, I think.
Yeah, so I recall when these two played here last year in what ended in a 2-2 draw, that the tying goal, which I believe it was Seth Molesky who scored it with well into stoppage time. Like the St. Chris fans were going crazy that the game should have already been over. But I'm pretty sure it came off of a corner kick or either a free kick right outside the box that the keeper kind of spilled and Seth followed it in. So set pieces can be a place where, this Saints defense is really well drilled, well organized. It's going to be hard to pass circles around them. I mean, if Collegiate could only score on them once with their very high-powered attack, then it's a great defense. But you're right, Layla, that those set-piece opportunities, corners, throw-ins, free kicks outside the box could be where the Titans might find some joy. Good tackle by Hayes, but a quick throw taken by the Saints. And a nice left-footed cross. Man on behind him, and this one could go anywhere. Good pressure by Ryan, but nice job by Welsh to keep his composure and play it back to his keeper. I guess it worked out okay. I'm not sure I love Jack letting that one hit the ground. I thought he could have headed it. And the ball, I think, has spent more time in the air than on the ground for the last few minutes. It's had an interesting pattern. Everything started off, like you pointed out, and I pointed out, what I called cagey, just kind of slow and probing, but no one taking risks. Then it picked up, and now it's kind of chaotic. It's just like bouncing all around. And
kind of like take the ball from the Titans and feel like they need to be more composed and stuff. But I think they've done a good job overall.
Gino Galvez has returned out on the left. I don't think Hayes knew that Carleon was right behind him, but good job by the Saints. It's a really good-looking ball down the left side, and Saints wanted a penalty, but it's actually going to be offside. So, and I don't think there was too much in that anyway, but Bleacher, I think, felt like, I'm actually not sure which defender it was, but like someone ran in his back. But for me, there wasn't enough contact for a penalty. Even if there had been, though, he was offside. So that is, I guess, irrelevant whether he was fouled. Good job by Ryan Lloyd to win that one and play it back to Roman. That's a nice looking ball. Yeah, very good job by Evan Broughton. Oh, nice turn by Seth, but it just got a little too far away from him. Oh, what a beautiful ball by Pierce Riddle, and good fight by Ben Gravely, but Saints have numbers now, and Roman did very well to shield the Saints attacker and draw a foul. And interestingly, when these teams have played recently, they tend to be high-scoring games, but this one definitely not following that script so far. I know last year they played at St. Christopher's. Saints won 3-2. The game here was 2-2. The year before, the game at St. Christopher's was 3-3, and the game here, I believe, was 3-2. They scrimmaged back in August, and I think that was 5-3 or 4-2. It was at least 4-2. So usually when these teams play each other, there have been 4, 5, 6 goals in it between the two teams. But so far, not only no goals, but I would say no great chances. A few, as I've described them, half chances, but none that you would have said, like, I can't believe that didn't go in, or even, I mean, Joe's been solid, but I wouldn't say he's had any spectacular saves. And I thought we'd see a little bit more goals in it, but and there may still could be, because we got a long way to go here, Layla. But I think some of that is down to how cautiously Coach Phillips has the Titans set up, and also probably the Saints being the road team and knowing the history of this rivalry. They maybe don't want to just come out guns blazing and leave themselves vulnerable. So it's a great ball by Gino. This might be the best chance of the game, and Hayes Shepard's left-footed shot is not on frame. It's a beautiful pass by Gino to lead Hayes. I think Hayes, he has a good left foot. I'm sure he would have loved it to be on the right side, though.
Yeah. But like you said, trust your left. So.
Well, you always trust your left, Layla.
Yeah, true.
Of course, you're left-footed, so you're the one that has to trust your right. All right, Saints. So a clever run there, and Joe's going to have to come out of his box. Speaking of left foots, that was a left-footed, beautiful clearance. And the Saints, as we talked about earlier, like to substitute at almost every opportunity. So it almost gets hard to keep track of how many all the different subs that Coach Jay Wood brings on. But that's a player I believe we're seeing for the first time in Luke Ryan, who is listed as a defender on the program, but he's playing up top. Some nice collection of passes by the Saints, and this is dangerous. And we were saying there haven't been great chances, but that's probably the best chance yet. I mean, he was in one-on-one at goal. Definitely someone had a defensive breakdown for the Titans there, but thankfully for Trinity, Joe Turkley did his thing. Great header by Ryan Lloyd, and that ball went out. Hayes battles with Luke Ryan, who, as we mentioned, just came in, and Hayes is able to get a steal, but great effort by Max Mumford to come back and take it back from Hayes, which is no easy thing to do. All right, we're into the last 5 minutes of the first half. Just got a message from #1 Titan soccer fan and team mom forever, Lauren Flood, watching with David in Nashville. So shout out to the Floods. We miss Colin. We miss all the Floods, but right now we really miss Colin. Another offsides there. Titans have drawn the Saints offsides, I think, at least 5 or 6 times in the first half. So Matthias and Jack, along with Pierce and Roman, that back four has really been organized and kept their line well. I'm curious in the second half when they're defending the opposite side and don't have the coaches to talk them through it. Sometimes, at least as a coach, I always feel a little more secure with the defense in front of us. But Matthias is about as trustworthy as it comes as a center back. So I'm sure if he could hear me right now, he'd be like, "Nah, we got it, Coach. We don't need Coach Phillips constantly telling us what to do. We're good." All right, Jack, instead of the long throw, this time goes backwards to Pierce Riddle. I don't know that Pierce was really wanting that ball. I think he made the run, but I think he thought it was more making a dummy run. What a ball by Matthias. What a first touch by Hayes. Hayes puts the shoulder down. He's going to shoot. Well blocked. That had to hurt for Charlie Hudson, number 17, but a turnover by the Saints. And good job again by Hudson, though. Good job again by Hayes. And this is starting to look just like, your typical Saints-Titan battle. It's definitely come alive here in the latter stages of this first half. Nice move by Oliver. Still in as it flashed across the face of goal. Seth stuck in the net. Get out of there, Seth. You're offsides. Hanging out in the net. Nice. Oh, that was a good look by Roman, and that might have been the first sign of fatigue by Hayes, as I thought he would get there, and he didn't quite have the wheels. Hayes has been super involved in this last several minutes, so I think he's just hoping to get to halftime. Cade Cox look to draw it back. Roman Gamino has been excellent today in the first half. Ryan Lloyd causing havoc, and now he can get sprinting. And when Ryan starts sprinting, you feel like no one has ever run harder in the history of Earth than when he sprints. He just puts his all into it. Well, it was a strong collision. I mean, I'm glad they didn't blow the whistle, but I think it was borderline. Could have been a foul. The official's been pretty consistent so far, though. I mean, he's only blown his whistle for egregious fouls. Otherwise, he's really letting them play. And as a player, that's all you can ask for.
I'm surprised that there hasn't been a more physical game, given the rivalry, given last season.
I agree.
They've kept their composure pretty well.
No, I totally agree with you, Layla. And just as we say, surprise hasn't been more physical. A crunching tackle by Jackson Carleon. And Yeah, this is scary at the top of the box, but Mumford dragged the shot wide, but Jackson Carleon really went to ground and went through Matthias Rusi. Again, I'm not saying it was a foul. It was physical, but he got ball. But I mean, it was as I described it, I think in real time, a crunching tackle. Thankfully, Matthias is really tough. And we're at halftime. No time added on here in the first half. So your halftime score is just like we started. St. Christopher's 0, Trinity Episcopal 0. Layla, before we break for a minute, and I think I'm gonna run down and see if I can't catch a little bit of the halftime team talk. But any closing first half thoughts for us?
I think it was a solid half by both teams. I think for either team to score, it's going to be whoever raises their intensity, who wants it more, going more goal hungry for the ball, getting in the back line and the goalkeeper's face when they're making those crucial saves and stuff.
Yeah, and I would just add, in a game like this, even though it did, as we said, come to life a little bit, and there were more, I would say there were more chances for both teams in the last 10 minutes than the first 35 minutes combined. So we may see a goal coming, but sometimes in a game like this when it's 0-0 and this scares you a little bit, is a lot of times it's a mistake that leads to that first goal. So an individual error can sometimes be the difference, and you don't want to see that, I mean, just for either team. But that's just something to keep an eye out, especially the Titan back line has played so well. Can they sustain it? They haven't subbed the back four at all. Back five, counting Joe, of course. Saints, I don't think anybody played the whole half. Just that's what they do. They sub a lot. So I'm also curious if fitness will play a role in the late stages. It's not too hot. It's a really nice day to play, but it's not chilly. You know, what's probably high 70s here?
Yeah,
All right, well, we're going to take a break for a few minutes. Thanks to Ben bringing us the pictures. Thanks to Layla. And we've got another half of exciting soccer ahead. And I'm going to go spy a little bit on the halftime talk and see if we can learn anything. All right, stick around. Should be an awesome second half. We'll be back soon.
You are watching
Trinity Episcopal School Production Network.
TSPN.
Hello and welcome to the second edition of the TSPN Titan Takeover. I'm Ryan Lloyd, joined here by
Abby Miller.
Joe Turkley.
And Sophia Moore.
Up first, we're going to take a quick look at boys soccer and what they've done this past week.
Starting off with boys soccer, they have a record of 2 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie coming off the Eastern Mennonite tournament. Now let's go look at some clips from the broadcast of the collegiate game. Here we have Hayes Shepard coming in with a free kick to give the Titans the first goal of the game. What a kick!
Shepard scores. Very good job right there. The sun was a factor, and that is the analysis that you can only get.
Here we have an assist by Nathan Sims to Seth Molesky to give the Titans 2 goals. Let's watch this teamwork. Really got a nice communication there for that. And it's in! Right here is a key moment in the game that gave the Titans some momentum back in the game against Collegiate.
One-time rip to the far post by Seth Molesky.
Up next for Trinity is St. Chris, Thursday the 21st, which will be broadcasted on TSBN, and Steward on the 23rd.
We're going to look at football. They rebounded really nicely. defeating Fuma at home and then taking care of business against St. Mary's Rakuten. I know St. Mary's gave them a lot of trouble last year. That was our closest game, and this year the guys went up there and put on an absolute clinic, beating them 35-6. The Titans football team is now 2-1 on the season. We're going to take a look at some clips from the Fuma broadcast.
Checking out some of the clips from the Fork Union game. We'll take a quick look at Brennan Ridley's touchdown just a few minutes into the game, and it's going to open up real nicely. You'll see him just open up a ton of space and just be absolutely wide open in the end zone. Our next clip will be Deuce Edwards, normally a defensive back, but doing some work on the offensive side. He'll do a good job there, double the lead with the Titans. Then we got a nice play, good pass by Tegan Logan to Davion Brown. Nice quick screen, and Davion will receive it and just go all the way to the end zone. Probably a 60-yard drive there by Davion. We'll look at our last clip. Good job here by James Woodward. Nice little over-the-top pass by Tegan. James will fake one out, cut back inside, and he'll take it all the way right in front of the Titans student section, and that'll basically close out the game. There wasn't much time left in the second half, and the game ended at halftime due to lightning.
Touchdown, Titans.
Looking ahead for football, they're going to travel to Alexandria to play Episcopal High School this Saturday.
The volleyball season has started off their fall season with a strong record of 4-1 after a big win against the Carmel School at home. Let's take a look at some clips from that broadcast.
First up, we have a huge block from Jalen to give the Titans a lead in the game. Great block. And then in our second clip, we have a huge ace from Mac to give the Titans a lead. She ended up having 8 aces during this game. Finally, we have match point for the Titans. And as you can see, we have a special celebration to signify their win. Go volleyball! All right, next up for volleyball on Tuesday, we have Stab, and on Thursday, we have St. Catherine's.
We're going to kind of go around the horn here for some of the sports that didn't have broadcasts. We'll talk about field hockey a little bit.
I thought field hockey's last game against Cape Henry was very strong defensively and offensively. They came in very hot and heavy and put a lot of pressure on Cape Henry and came out with a win of 5-1, which was very impressive for them.
Yeah. The offensive player of the game was Ava Benson. I know a number of other seniors scored, including Ellie Johnson and Shepard Ramsey. So it's good to see that senior core of that team that has been present for so many years is really getting a lot of reps in. And
especially because of their game against Cape Henry last year, where they unfortunately lost. They kind of got to take back the lead and say, this is our turf. This is where we're going to play.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I want to maybe look at something else. We'll talk about tennis. Girls tennis, they've opened to, I think for sure, one of their strongest seasons that we've ever seen, certainly since I've been at Trinity. They're 4-1 on the season. They take on Norfolk Academy on Friday, which I'm sure will be a great match.
As every match has been so far, clearly.
Yeah. We're just really looking forward to seeing what that team can do. Coach Raymond is continually impressed by their performance, and they're really, I think, enjoying their time spent together. I know they've had some weather delays where they've had to be inside at hotels, and that team bonding that I think has really come out of that has helped them a lot, especially since tennis is one of those sports where it is somewhat hard to kind of form that camaraderie because it is more of an individual sport.
Yeah, and especially when you start off the season winning and kind of going off of that, it's really fun to be with your teammates, especially when you're yes, we feel confident in this sport we're playing and we're going to come in with a lot of energy.
Yeah. Lastly, we'll talk about cross country. They were at the Fuma Invitational last weekend. Starting off, the girls finished really phenomenal. They came in second place. Olivia Sibley and Lila Clarkson got top 30. and Caitlin Harris ended in 5th solo. So just great performance from the girls on that.
Yeah, very much. I think it's very interesting. I love how we have a very positive week this week with a lot of wins, a lot of teaminess. Well, I'm going to make up a word, teaminess.
Yeah, it's interesting to see this past year the cross country teams. There used to be a boys team and a girls team, and they've merged this year, kind of under one coach.
Yeah, I've never been privy to see cross country or anything, but clearly he's doing an amazing job with how they're going so far.
Yeah, and that'll about wrap it up for all the highlights that we've covered this week. We're going to send it over to the play of the week, which is going to be Tegan Logan's 6th touchdown pass that he threw.
Fumble recovery. Tegan rolling left. Now he backs up. He's now going to throw it into the end zone. Touchdown, Titans. Is that Brennan Ridley again?
I believe so. Can't see the number for sure.
Seeing the number from this far away in the far corner, but I believe it is Brennan Ridley for another touchdown. All right, second half is underway, and Saints start off the second half with a promising attack, but great job by Matthias Rusi to clear it out for a corner. Only the, I think, second corner of the game for the Saints, and I believe the Titans only had one as well. DeCosmo takes the corner near post. I don't know who that came off. I guess a St. Christopher's player. It might have been Charlie Hudson. That was a real chance. It got past Roman Gamino at the near post, and I think Hudson had it about 2 yards from goal, but he just couldn't shape his body in a way to get it on frame. But I would chalk that up as a bullet dodge for the Titans. Sun's a factor as well, especially down looking back towards the school. So Sun will definitely be in the eyes of St. Keeper Dougie Boardman. And Saints looking to possess. So when there's a stoppage in play, I did participate in the halftime team talk for the Titans, and not going to talk about everything that was said, but I'd love to give our viewers a little flavor of just what it was like. But I'll wait for a ball to go out of play. Nice header by Oliver Simpson. He definitely got fouled there. Carleon ran right through his back. Well, and we'll see if the Titans can make St. Christopher's pay. I mean, this isn't the most promising place you'd ever want a free kick, but with the sun, it could be tough for Boardman. Depends. Let's see where Cranston puts it. Not his best free kick, and Jack's going to work hard to try and get it back. Yeah, I think Jack there looked like he was running with the passion of a man who knows he didn't have his greatest ever free kick and was trying to. Stephen Bashira tried to cross it there, but went out of bounds for a goal kick. So while Joe's getting this, so Titan coaches were really just harping on staying organized, which they did a fantastic job in the first half, and not too dissimilar to what I said right at the beginning of halftime, that this is a game that could come down to someone making a mistake. It's just so finely poised, and so really just making the point that you cannot switch off at all. This is one where concentration is so huge, and that's obvious. But at the same time, sometimes as an athlete, you have to be reminded that the mental side sometimes is just as much as the physical. And Saints have come out strong here in the second half, and Jack Cranston did well. He says he knocked it off of the Saints player, but the refs didn't see it that way. And I mean, the ref is shielding his eyes. I'm not sure. Jack sold me. Like, his body language definitely indicated that he was sure it came off of a white jersey, but I don't know. I believe Jack, but it doesn't matter what we believe. Corner kick, and the last one was dangerous. This one not as dangerous, and Roman almost hit Coach Phillips' truck. That would have, yeah. Roman, you're playing great, but I'm pulling you because you hit my truck. Just kidding. Coach Phillips would never do that. And that truck has sustained many soccer balls to it over the years. Big throw by the Saints, and we talked about Jack Cranston throws, but that's the first really big throw we've seen. That was Bashira. And see what I'm saying? How Ryan, he looks like he's just running so hard. I mean, he is, but like, it's like every fiber of him is just propelling himself.
I think it's like the arm.
Yeah, it's the arm pumping. What I am curious about is he's on, so I'll tell you in a second what I was going to say here, but they're going to say that DeCosmo stayed onside, and that one was scary. That got through everybody. Oh, that's a ball by Oliver Simpson over the center back, and Seth Molesky retrieves it. Well defended, though. Is that Evan Broughton? Hard to see the numbers from here, but I'm pretty sure that it's him back there at right back where he started. And if that is indeed Evan Broughton, and I think it is, he just made another nice defensive interception. He's your neighbor? Yeah, good player, only a sophomore, and he's played a big role thus far. Seth plays it across to Roman, and good interception by Bashira. Falls in between the center backs. Thought maybe Matthias could have just played Joe back there, but he decided just to put it out for a throw. Good double team by Oliver and Roman, and shot was way over by Jack Bleacher. So what I was started to say, I think a minute or two ago, one thing I'm interested to see in the second half is what adjustments St. Christopher's makes. Clearly, I mean, Coach Jay Wood is an incredible coach. He's been, I mean, over 30 years. He coached St. Christopher's when I was in high school. And Layla just looked at me like, oh, my gosh, that was a really long time ago. And it was. That's what, yes, so did Mr. Phillips. These guys are great friends, Coach Phillips and Coach Wood. Coach Phillips has been at Trinity since the 80s, and I believe Coach Wood since the early 90s at St. Christopher. So they've battled many times. Uh-oh. Joe Turkley, incredible job by Joe to come out. I think he's okay. He's a little slow to get up, and Carleon as well. Great sportsmanship by both players. A hard collision, but Joe still maybe had the wind taken out of him. So back to the adjustments. I mean, I don't know if that was one of the things the Saints talked about, but it looked like Carleon just said, I'm going to take people on. And I'm curious, St. Christopher's hasn't done a ton of that. Will their more skillful players just look to make 1v1 moves, because they haven't really been able to break the Titans down through passing, but could it be that moment of magic that, to be fair, Wes Wise provided for them last year in the state championship game, where he would just get it on his feet and run at defenders, and he was quite successful at it, which is why we're watching the defending state champions from St. Christopher's instead of watching the defending state champions from Trinity, because Wes Wise had a pretty spectacular performance individually in that game. It was a lot of fun to be a part of. Not the result that Titan Nation wanted, but still was a really magical season last year, and for both of these teams. And now we see some of the same faces, but a lot of guys who were either on the sidelines or even on JV last year. Ref thought about blowing his whistle, but now he let it go. Not the greatest first touch by Jack Cranston, and once again we see Carleon look to take it on himself, and that's been a threat. Oh, wow, Joe lost his footing. That was, I don't even know what to say. We talked about the goal might come off of a mistake. I mean, that would have just been horrible luck. And Ryan Lloyd draws a foul in a pretty dangerous spot, and this is right about the spot we saw Hayes Shepherd score last week against Collegiate. Yeah, it was not like this. So Hayes scored from a similar spot, similar angle against Collegiate. It was just a little more central, I think, against Collegiate. It was right in the middle of the goal. This one pretty much even with the right post. Looks like he's going to try and pass. Not sure what he was trying. Whatever it was, it didn't really work out. Let's see what Pierce Riddle's able to do. That's a nice looking ball lofted in by Pierce. Good header by Bashira. Good job by Pierce winning that one. Pierce Riddle's played this whole game, and that's normally where Brady Lang would be, but of course we miss Brady, who's an incredible player on this team. But Pierce has filled in very admirably so far. Seth called for a foul. Yeah, Seth never thinks he committed a foul. Pierce is way behind his center backs right now, which is a bit of a concern for me, holding everybody on. And Bleacher over everybody.
Great header by Sonny.
This ball's going to stay in play for DeCosmo. Showing off his moves, lays it off, shot from in the box. Not, let's call that another half chance, but Hudson was able to get a pretty good look of goal there. More, sorry to interrupt, Layla, just I was going to say some more subs coming in for St. Christopher's. Let's give them a shout. Tyler Overstreet, as well as Cade Cox, and I'm not sure, there were three. I didn't quite see who the third one was. I think Sutton Olsen, I think. So once again, Coach Wood going to his bench, and I'm really curious if they'll be fresher toward the end because of all the subbing. These Titans are very well conditioned, though.
At the last sequence, at the last chance, half chance, I didn't love the fact that number 17 was open. I feel like he should have been knocked down. I just didn't feel they were
Yeah, it was a little warning shot, I think, for the Titans. Like, keep an eye on the Saints bringing those defensive mids into play, throwing a little bit more numbers. Wow, that's a ball. That's a header. That's a goal! Seth Molesky with the header. What a ball by Jack Cranston, and the Titans strike first and take a 1-0 lead. Seth Molesky scores, but you got to give a ton of credit as well to Jack Cranston with the assist. And I believe it was Ryan Lloyd that drew the foul that led to that goal. So great stuff for the Titans, and we hear Jack Cranston's dad tell him what a ball. He ain't lying. That was beautiful. And now Jack's going to have a chance to head it himself. Not able to clear it as the Saints try with a quick response, but still got just over 30 minutes to play. And great goal for the Titans. That they haven't even put it up on. We have it on our. No, we don't have it on our scoreboard. It's not on. And now it's on the board at the actual scoreboard here at the field as well as ours. So everybody was busy admiring the goal and forgot to put it on the board. Ben Snyder said he was waiting for them to put it on the real scoreboard before we put it on ours. So I'm going to believe Ben. All right, will that goal hold up? Still got just over 30 minutes to play, and we may see a renewed vigor by the Saints. And that takes a weird, wicked deflection, but Joe Turkley able to catch it.
Now we'll just have to see if the Titans can hold on to this lead and keep their composure. And we'll have to see what the Saints will bring to the table for the next 30. Think about it, they might have Nathan subbed in for Ryan, I think. Ryan
Yes.
threw the goal.
Yes, good call. Nathan Simpson, I believe for the first time today, giving Ryan Lloyd a break. Ryan played a key role in that goal by drawing a foul that then led to the free kick that then led to the goal. Titans players said that was out, but the ref does not agree. They let it bounce. Halfway cleared, but yeah, definitely some miscommunication. But now Hayes Shepard is going to Nathan is offsides. It was tight, but I think the Saints defenders did a great job stepping up just in time. Yeah, he's when these teams scrimmaged in August, I believe Nathan scored.
Yeah, you did.
So I keep laughing because I've been waiting to say this for about 5 minutes, but I got stung by a bee, and I'm like kind of allergic. A few minutes ago, a wasp or a bee stung me up here, and I'm not like allergic. Like I don't think I'm gonna go into shock or anything, but if I start to slur my words, I promise I'm not drinking. I have a mild allergy to bee stings, so. Yeah, hopefully I can keep it together. It hurts pretty bad. It got me in the neck and then got down my shirt and got me right in the chest. Yeah, not good. All right, but what is good is Seth Molesky's goal, which was really good. Now Tucker Tedderton has come in out on the left in the position where who did Tucker come in for?
Ben? No, wait. Ben's there.
Yeah, the ball hasn't been out on the left very much, so I'm trying to remember who was starting in that left mid spot. Gino, I think. Yeah, so Tucker in for Gino. Two of the better JV players on last year's winning JV team. Winning as in winning record. And we see now Pierce and Roman switch sides. And I think that was maybe an adjustment to what the Saints had done. I think they brought DeCosmo over to the left, and looks like the Titan coaches, what a play by Oliver. Titan coaches want want Pierce on DeCosmo's side. Beautifully switched by Hayes, and a really nice job by Bashira. I thought that was going to make it all the way out to Oliver Simpson. And Jack Cranston is going to take his time coming forward for the throw-in, as is his prerogative, with a 1-goal lead. Big throw. Falls to Tucker. I like the confidence. He took it on first time. Yeah, and I believe Tucker is left-footed, and that photo is right foot as well. You know that pain, Layla, when it falls to your right foot. Good pressure there by Tucker. The world is for right-handed people, and you lefties have a lot of challenges. Scissors, desks, things of that nature.
Especially the paper. As a young child, I could never back that well.
Titans playing a really high line. It'll be interesting to see.
Especially with making sure our outside backs stay in front of our center backs. That would be crucial in keeping everybody.
Yeah, I mean, Saints clearly have a lot of speed up top, and so it always makes me a little nervous when we have all 11 guys on the offensive half of midfield for if there's a counterattack, especially now that we're protecting a lead. You just know that Coach Wood and the Saints they've got a lot of talented players, and they're gonna battle and work tirelessly to get an equalizer, and I'm sure they still feel there's enough time for an equalizer and a winning goal. Jack Cranston would love to assist another one, as he did on the Titan goal, and his throw-ins are that weapon like we've talked about. It's a good one. It could go anywhere. It's Tucker Tedderton again. It keeps falling to Tucker, and he wasn't quite able to get his hips around on that one either. I think Tucker, he needs to take dance lessons, because his hips have let him down twice in a row. From a Titan standpoint, I will say that with a lead in a game where it feels like, it's been pretty defensive both ways, there's not a ton of scoring opportunities, that they've done a good job kind of taking the sting out of the game. I wish I could take the sting out of me from the B sting, but oh, that's going to be a corner as Seth Molesky flicked that off the head of the Saint defender. But you knew in the 5 minutes or so after the goal, St. Christopher's would really up their intensity, but Trinity's done a nice job of just slowing things down and taking their time, and that's just good game management when you have that 1-goal lead.
Again, I would like to see how the Saints respond, especially with a younger team. Like how they'll respond will be crucial factor to it. Like how they respond in general.
That's a high one. Tucker again, just wide, but it just keeps going to Tucker Tedderton, who, as I'm sure you know, and any Trinity student would know, is like one of the just greatest kids that we have. I mean, just a great student, athlete, citizen. So I try to be relatively unbiased, but when it comes to Tucker, it's hard to be. It's my advisee. I want to go for him. All right. Saints probing, trying to attack.
I can hear Joe. That's always a good sign. When you hear your goalkeeper.
Yeah, for sure. That's just a real security blanket for the whole team when the keeper is communicating, and once again, high line by the Titans. Looks like they're switching Pierce and Roman again. And I actually think it's more to keep Roman following number 11, Matt Sovich. DeCosmo goes to ground. They're going to call a foul just outside the box. DeCosmo is arguing that he was in the box. I do think the contact started outside the box. DeCosmo did well to get a half step on Roman Gamino, and it is a dangerous spot for sure. The ball went somewhere far away. Oh, it went to Tucker Tedderton's dad. The ball just keeps going to all the Teddertons. Even Dad got into it. But all right, so DeCosmo has the ball. Grayson DeCosmo, number 10, his 4th year on varsity. This is where he's a captain as well. And if you're Coach Jay Wood, this is where you want your captain to step up. And he played that over. You could see what he was trying to do, bend it in, but not exactly what he had in mind. And that'll allow Joe Turkley to take his time retrieving it. Another sub for the Saints. It is Evan Broughton coming back in, Layla's neighbor. And Tyler Overstreet checking out. What? Got a lot of St. Christopher soccer players in your neighborhood. You're not doing a good job recruiting, Layla. Your brother went to St. Christopher's as well.
I have no control over my brother.
Yes, I know. All right.
I'm sure you never listened to Miss Weiler.
I always listen to Miss Weiler. Correction. Always. No, yeah, I know. Of course I always did. All right. Hayes looking for Nathan, and I think Nathan wants a ball he can run onto, not necessarily one at his feet. Oliver Simpson got fouled there. Oliver Simpson has quietly had a fantastic game, winning more than his fair share of 50-50 balls. He's drawn, I think that's 3 times he's gotten fouled, and just really been kind of an unsung hero today. Doesn't show up in the stat sheet, at least not yet, but Oliver's had a great game. All right, Jack Cranston again. His last free kick was phenomenal. This is a beauty as well. Seth got a head on it but couldn't direct it goalward.
Nice job by Pierce there to get it out of danger.
Great job by Pierce. Good passing by the Saints as they want to control some possession here. Cosmo out to Sovich, and this is maybe the most consecutive passes we've seen either team complete. Although, yeah, Pierce has been great, but that clearance was definitely not what he would have had in mind. Bashir with a big run forward, but he cannot keep it in. Roman Gamino does well to shield it out of play. Chino, I believe, is coming in for Oliver. Yeah. I don't think Oliver's been out yet. So with about 18 minutes or so left, plus maybe some stoppage time, I think Coach Phillips wants to give Oliver a short break and bring him in for the stretch run. Good job by Roman to use his strength and not get beaten by the speedy Sovich. Max Mumford's coming over to throw it in. Good job by Jack Cranston to get there first. Can Gino keep it in? Mumford ends up winning the race. It's okay until I think about it. But thanks for asking. Saints are definitely starting to connect more passes. Joe way out, and that's going to roll all the way out. Good job by Joe. I think he kind of tricked Sovic into stopping and thinking, oh, keeper's got it. But then he just let it run, and now he can run 30 seconds off while the Saints sub again. Sovic is actually going to come out, and Lucas Gordonier is also going out, and then we've got Gardner Kaufman coming in. See a neighbor of yours as well, Layla? Roman didn't go where he wanted that one. Here comes the sub who's just come in, Kaufman. Good job by Cranston, and good job by Gino. Another sub. It is DeCosmo coming back. He wasn't out for long. Luke Ryan is off, and Coach Wood has done this philosophy for a number of years. He subs a lot more than you typically see in high school soccer. And I'm kind of interested more coaches don't try it, because they've had an incredible amount of success with it, and by playing so many guys, you really keep everybody engaged. On the flip side, as a coach, I also understand that, when you make those subs, you can just get a little nervous when it's people that haven't got as much experience. So I give Jay Wood a lot of credit that he trusts everybody, and he has them all ready to play. For sure. For sure. Oh, this one's going to slip through. This is a dangerous ball. Good job by Jack, though, to play it out. It is going to give up a corner, but the initial defense by the Titans wasn't great there, as it scooted through about 3 of them. But great job by Jack to prevent a shot from getting attempted. Another sub for the Saints. Gardner Kaufman, who hasn't been on long, is off, and Matt Sovic, who hasn't been out long, is back in. Good job by Pierce Riddle. Joe Turkley. Great job to pull that one out of the air. This will travel out for a Titan throw, and credit to the pressure put on by Nathan Sims and Hayes Shepard to force that turnover. If you're a player on Collegiate tuning in right now, you must be thinking, like, St. Christopher's just beat us. We just beat Trinity 7-2. Like, how is this happening? That Trinity, who we just beat handily, is beating St. Chris, who we just lost to. My answer would be 2 things. One, when these Richmond rivals happen, it's always kind of a one-off. You can't predict always what's going to happen. They're just on the given day. Teams have a great day or not as great. The other thing I want to say, the second thing that's a huge, huge difference, Matthias Rusi. He wasn't here for the collegiate game last week, and even when he's not touching the ball, you can see him now. I mean, he's always talking, pointing at people. He's the coach on the field, and that's not to take anything away from collegiate. They were excellent last week, and with 7-2, and that's even with Joe making some great saves. That's going to be a corner. Matthias, again, barking instructions, but I just think that's one of the big differences for sure. Yeah, and we'll see if the nerves and/or fatigue comes into play in this last 12 or so minutes. They go near post again. I feel like all the corners have kind of been that aimed for that same near post. It's great clearance by Jack Cranston, who's had a fantastic game. And here comes Matthias Rusi. We were just talking about him, and he puts a ball out that I thought was just meant to be a clearance, and Nathan Sims somehow got on the end of it. Well, the somehow is he's the fastest man pretty much in the state, like literally state champion in the 200. I mean, when Matthias played that, I seriously thought he's just like, I'm getting it out, I'm just getting it upfield. And then out of nowhere comes Nathan to keep it in. Great header by Seth Molesky. He's been fantastic in the air, and obviously most shown by the goal that he scored. There's Oliver back, just like we said he would be after a short break. Oliver fouls and wouldn't be, I mean, he's not going to go to his cards there, but that could have been a yellow, just not dirty, but your classic professional foul. Oliver stopped the counterattack before it started. I think if he got in a yellow, he couldn't have had much of a complaint. But this official had him many times. I believe he actually officiated this game here last year between these two teams, and that's just a little bit dangerous. Well marshaled by Jack. And a great header by Rusi. Titans defenders trying to push up. Anyway, just to finish that thought, this official consistently allows physical play, and you know what you're getting when you have him, and he's been doing this for a long time. All right, this could be a race for Nathan, but Kellen Welsh had a big head start, so even Nathan couldn't track that one down. Great header by Pierce Riddle. Saints definitely starting to apply more pressure. Hayes able to win it and draw a foul. Great job by Hayes to dispossess Beckett Schofield. He's another senior captain for the Saints.
I'm kind of surprised there haven't been any yellow cards or anything.
I'm stunned there have been no yellow cards. Usually this fixture provides plenty of chances for the official to put some names in his book, including a red card in the state championship game last year. Seth's head again. That was just a little too far out. Another good ball by Jack Cranston, though. Ryan Lloyd, my man, TESPN's own Ryan Lloyd coming in for Nathan Sims. And if you did stick around at halftime, you may have seen Ryan Lloyd on Titan Takeover, our weekly recap show. This is going to stay in play, and the Saints are streaming big numbers forward. Total miss kick by Pierce Riddle, although Pierce is claiming that he got clipped in his heels. He thought he got fouled there. If so, DeCosmo was very subtle about it because I didn't see that. Corner comes in short. DeCosmo with a good angle. He shoots. He had 5 guys in front of the goal, and I think Coach Wood would have probably preferred DeCosmo to play a cross in and let his guys attack it rather than shoot from a difficult angle.
Especially with Joe, you're not going to beat him like from that angle.
Near post, 25 yards out. Yeah.
You're just not going to really beat Joe outside of that.
And that's no disrespect to, I mean, DeCosmo's a great player, but probably that wasn't his best decision. Wow, Ben Gravely showing off some moves.
Great ball. Couldn't quite get it to Pino.
Great header by Ben. Perfect header right to the feet of Hayes Shepard. Hayes dancing with it. He needs to teach Tucker how to dance. At the feet of Gino Galvez, he wanted a foul, not going to get the call. Again, like we said, this official allows some physical play. Matthias is going to have cleanup duty here. And his clearance only goes out to DeCosmo. Great job by Gino and Pierce. Yeah, for sure. Center back Beckett Schofield has come way forward now into the attack as the Saints getting a little more desperation, showing a little more foul on Ryan Lloyd. You know, Schofield was going backwards. It allows the 6'4" Welch to get up. You love how hard Ryan plays, but I don't think that was the smartest play by my man. I mean, now the Saints have 8 guys into the box. They're also going to send Mumford on an overlapping run. There's a lot of players in there, and it's a good free kick, but Joe Turkey handles it. Sovic is not happy with his teammates. I don't know exactly what he's upset about, but he clearly had he was on a different page than somebody there. Ryan Lloyd played it way up, a ball that only Nathan Sims could get to, but sadly Ryan came in for Nathan, so it didn't work out. But all right, another sub by the Saints. 5 minutes to go. Probably will have a little stoppage time this half, I think, just from all the subbing. Thankfully, no injuries today thus far. We had the big collision with Joe Turkey and Jackson Carleon in the first half, and I think let me save this thought because the Saints are flooding numbers forward. Seth was able to get an interception, and the Saints have 5-6 guys up top, but they just couldn't connect on that one. Yeah, so I mentioned in the first half, I think it was very early in the second half, there was a collision between Jackson Carleon, number 3 for St. Christopher's, and Joe Turkey, and I thought I saw a Saints player leave, and I think it was Jackson Carleon. I guess maybe he has practiced for like Richmond United, something like that. So, because he hasn't been on the field in a while, and I thought I saw a St. Christopher's player go to the parking lot. For a minute, I was like, maybe that's a JV player that came to watch, but I think it might have been Jackson Carleon, which he's a very talented player, obviously, if he's playing for Richmond United. So I'm sure the Saints would love to have him back out there now, but hope he's okay for his practice because he took a hard hit when he and Joe ran into each other. Big throw by Jack, and it's out of bounds, which is going to allow more time to run off this clock. And Jack Granston just bought another 45 yards there with a long throw down the line, headed out of bounds, and in 2 throw-ins, Jack Cranston has taken the Titans from their own 18 defensively all the way into the Saints box. He's got to be careful here, though, with so many guys offensively pushed forward. Got to watch out for the counterattack. This is a promising opportunity for the Saints counterattack. Pierce Riddle, was that a shot? Is he just trying to lose that ball into the woods? Let's say he was trying to lose it, because if that was his goal, mission accomplished. I don't envy whoever has to find that ball. All right, just about 2-3 minutes or so to go. Scoreboard clock is at 88. Ours is at 42, so I think we started it just a little late, but great towering header by Hayes Shepard. Ryan is not going to back out of this challenge. Ryan is not going to back out of this challenge. What an effort by Ryan Lloyd, and he was like a dog chasing a bone looking for that ball. And look at Ryan now sprinting back, trying to put some pressure on. Ryan's work rate is phenomenal. All right, headed out. Another sub for the Saints. It is Bashira, number 6, subbing in for number 5, Tyler Overstreet. And Saints have got 6 guys in the box. Dangerous throw. Cranston heads. Molesky heads. Hayes plays it up to Ryan. Good tackle by Hayes Shepard. She thought that might have clipped off Bashir on the way out, but they're going to say Saints throw in. And that's going to go out of bounds for a goal kick off the thigh of Takasmo. He didn't like the call. I see the official saying 2 minutes of stoppage time will be added. So just about 3 more minutes for the Titans to hang on here. And when these two teams played on this field last year, St. Christopher's had a 1-goal lead super late, and the Titans were able to pull out the draw. So it is definitely not over. Cannot relax. Jack Cranston finds the feet of Ryan Lloyd, who looked for Shepard, but Saints are able to regain possession. Jack showing off the left foot. He put that about 10 stories high and out to touch. Saints get it in quickly, as you would expect at this juncture. It's a good-looking ball. Still in. No, it goes out. It's going to be a goal kick, as that went off the head of a St. Christopher's player. I couldn't quite pick out whose head it was because there were a forest of bodies in there. Sutton Olsen, maybe? Yeah, that's what I thought. Number 30, Sutton Olsen, got ahead to it. Jack Cranston taking his time. Finds beautifully to the feet of Ryan Lloyd, who unfortunately whiffed it. Matthias Rusi doing Matthias Rusi things. Hayes to Gino. No, I think Gino would have been better served playing that out to the corner to Hayes, but great to see Gino out there. He wasn't getting a ton of playing time earlier in the season. Matthias gets his hips around that ball and sends it out. Some of the fans a little stressed. I can understand why. This could go anywhere. Pierce Riddle clears it. Chance is not gone. Can Gino win this one? Good, well read by Welch. He's going to play it out wide. All hands on deck at this point. Ben Gravely and Seth Molesky defending. Falls dangerously. Yeah, somebody needs to make sure they're marking DeCosmo at the back post. Titans need to get up. Gino should not be the last man back. The shot comes in on frame, but saved by Joe Turkley. I tell you what, that shot, if that had been at the other goal with the height that was at, with the sun, the angle it is, that would have been really tricky. So sort of like just winning the coin flip plays a role in the fact that the Titans don't, or Joe Turk doesn't have the sun in his eyes. Hayes Shepard shields it. Still in. Hayes just needs to take this ball to the corner. Gino, that's it. Titans win! Titans win 1-0. And look, it's only a regular season game, but this has to feel like a small measure of revenge for last year's state championship. And you can see the Saints players are not used to losing, and they're upset right now. Some of them fell to the ground, but what a win for Trinity. Missing Brady Lang, one of the senior leaders of the team, and guys stepped up. Pierce Riddle, Roman Gamino, along with Jack Cranston and Matthias Rusi, and then, of course, Joe Turkley. The back line pitches a shutout against the state champion Saints of St. Christopher's, and what an awesome win for the Titans.
Great confidence boost after last week, especially.
Huge for the confidence, huge from a state ranking standpoint, and for these seniors like Hayes, Seth, Joe, who have had a lot of close calls with the Saints and tied them a couple times, but been several years since we got the win against St. Christopher, so this has got to feel really, really good for everybody associated with Trinity Soccer. See the guys coming over, getting a well-deserved round of applause, and I'd love to see if we can't get a quick interview here with Seth Molesky. Layla, do you feel comfortable going down and trying to get Seth up here real quick? Or a bit? All right. Yeah, we're gonna try and get a post-game interview with the goal scorer Seth Molesky. So don't go away, especially if you're a Trinity fan. Great turnout today. Beautiful day. Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's Layla may come into your picture here in a second as she's running on the field. You see Layla there in the black skirt trying to get Seth's attention. And will Seth want to do the interview? He may not.
Talk to Tyree.
He says, send Matthias. All right. Matthias Rusi's going to do the interview instead of Seth. All right. Yep. A shirtless Matthias Rusi. I don't know if the camera can catch that, but all right. Matthias, my man. All right, put these headphones on. We are live on the air, so keep it clean. First of all, congratulations on a fantastic win. Get this for you. Whoops. Sorry, I want to get a selfie for Matthias. He's going to want to remember this one. Also, all the ladies are going to enjoy the shirtless interview. All right, Matthias, so you obviously missed a few games. You've been sick. Come back. And I think you watched the collegiate game last week, and we talked a lot on the broadcast about how missed you were. You obviously haven't watched this broadcast, but we talked about what a difference you make back there. Just talk about the pride that you take as the central defender, the leader of the defense, the voice on the field, to be able to shut out a team that beat you in the state championship game 10 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, especially since they were the ones that beat us last year, it means a whole lot more. Especially like playing for those guys last year, Flood, Chuck, Davis, all of them. Like I know they're watching. I know they're excited about this one. So it means a lot winning it for them.
For sure. Well, I know Mrs. Flood is watching. She's texted us throughout the game. I heard Wes Wise's mom is watching as well. So they both said it's not quite as stressful when their son's not out there. But without, I'm not asking you to divulge the game plan. You play these guys again in just a couple of weeks. But just in general, what was not without getting into tactics and formations, but just what was the idea coming into this game of what it would take to get this win?
We had to play smart, play quick, and talk real loud. And I think we did all those, and that's why we see the way it ended.
And for you, even though you're only a junior, in terms of at the high school level, you probably played the most minutes in high school. Obviously, Seth didn't come on the team till last year, and the other seniors really weren't. Hayes maybe played about as much as you, but generally you have as much on-field game experience as anybody out here. So what pressure does that add, or is it just a privilege that you get a chance to be a leader of your team?
Oh, it's absolutely a privilege. I mean, it's an honor every day going out and playing with these guys, my brothers. It's a lot of fun being with them.
How did it feel having to sit in bed a week ago and watch these guys ship out 7 goals? How did that feel?
I hated it. I was screaming at my phone the whole time, calling out stuff that they missed, and I was just glad to be back out here with them.
So coming off of being a little sick, how you feeling?
I feel great right now. I feel even better after this one.
All right, what if I told you, what if I said, hypothetically, the ref right now was like, never mind, game's not over. We got to play 45 more minutes.
I'm playing the full 45. I was telling their striker that I wanted to do a full 90 again.
All right, well, the adrenaline is still flowing. I suspect when you wake up in the morning, you might feel a little fatigue, but this one will feel good. I can't wait to hear whoever makes the morning meeting announcement, Coach Phillips probably. And any last words for Titan Nation?
I don't think so. It's a fun one.
Congratulations, Matthias. Unbelievable game by you, as well as your teammates. Thanks for joining us. Go get with your team and maybe put a shirt on. All right. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to wrap it up here just with some final words. This was an interesting game. The first half was kind of slow to get going, very tactical. We described it as a chess match. Interestingly, when I went to the halftime team talk, Coach Phillips said this is a chess match. So that's how he saw it as well. I know if I see the same thing as Coach Phillips that I'm smart. Exactly. When we're that in sync, that's a great feeling. And so because of that, it really did come down to, who was going to get that first goal. And so the fact that Trinity was able to get it off of a set piece, incredible assist from Jack Cranston, fantastic header by Seth Molesky, great job by Ryan Lloyd to draw the foul. And then they just hung on, defended well as a team. And while the Saints created, we use this word a lot, some half chances, I don't really feel like Joe had to, stand on his head and make – the save of his life. I mean, the defense really did their job.
Yeah, I feel like maybe the last shot was probably the most.
Yeah, it might have been the scariest, just especially with how it came so late and the Saints had so many men forward. But, look, St. Christopher's has an incredible program. The reason this is a special win is because of how good they've been. If they hadn't been so good for so many years, it would just be whatever. But it does mean a lot for Trinity Soccer to beat St. Christopher's. It has happened some, but not a ton in the last 3 decades or so. So the Saints will bounce back and I know be a state contender as they always are. There's no coach in Virginia that I have more respect for than Jay Wood. So any Saints fans, if you haven't cut us off yet, and I wouldn't blame you if you had, you guys are very fortunate to have a true giant of high school coaching in Coach Jay Wood. But so do the Titans and Coach Brian Phillips, and I know how good this feels for Coach Phillips, Coach Yazinski, Coach Mills, Coach Tyree, the goalkeeper coach. Always feels good when you get a clean sheet. And these guys did something that I'm not sure a lot of people thought they could do. And like I said, if you're a collegiate player just tuning in, you must be wondering how did the team that we just lost to lose to the team we just beat 7-2. But I think the Titans just had a whole different approach today, and having Matthias made such a huge difference. And he's just you can't say enough about him other than keep your shirt on.
I feel like this is a real statement game for the Titans. They really showed what they're made of and stuck through it, stayed locked in. Overall, a really great game by the Titans and Saints.
For sure. Well, thanks so much, Layla. Appreciate your comments today. Thanks a ton to Ben Schneider. He did a fantastic job as cameraman and producer. And thanks, as always, to executive producer Carter Tyree that puts us in a position to succeed. Thanks, everybody who joined us. Final score, Trinity Episcopal 1, St. Christopher 0.